the opening of the Oldham County Code Enforcement Board, Wednesday, June the 5th. The first item on the agenda is to sign in for you to... Wayne, go ahead and
Swear in.
swear in.
Okay.
Sorry. Sign in, swear in.
Get sworn in, Jim.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give this board is true and accurate to the best of your belief and knowledge?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have the approval of the minutes. Has everyone read the minutes?
Yes.
Do we have approval?
I move we approve.
Okay, the minutes are approved. Do I have a second? I'll second. Okay, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, now we have, before we start with the public hearings, we have two items that were tabled. That is going to be citation number 750 and 751. So we have to have motions.
I move that we pull those from the table.
A second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Okay.
So the first citation that was tabled is citation 750. Citation number 750, which was 5604 Farmhouse Drive. This was a violation of the illicit discharge ordinance. The owner on record was Poplar Ridge Construction. This hearing wasn't requested. This hearing was requested. This is the general location of the property. This is a copy of the illicit discharge ordinance. And this case was tabled back in May at the May Code Board hearing. Since that time, Oldham County Engineering has rescinded the citation. You all have a copy of that rescission letter. So by recommendation, I guess we close the case.
And the county engineer is here to testify if you need any questions of him.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions before the board? Okay, having none. We are needing a motion to,
I'll make a motion that we close the case.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, the motion is carried.
So the second citation, I don't have a display for that, was citation number 751, Taylor Construction LLC, 4200 Timber Ridge Road. This was a violation of the construction site runoff, section 7. This citation has been paid, and after speaking with the Oldham County Engineer, mitigation has occurred on this citation, so recommend the citation be closed. It has been paid and it has been mitigated.
I make a motion that we close this case.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, the motion carries.
So our third citation, citation number 756. This is Mosquito Joe signs. I found these signs countywide. The owner on record was Mosquito Joe of the Bluegrass of 4400 Old LaGrange Road in Buckner. This hearing was not requested. This was a violation of the Oldham County zoning ordinance stating that no sign shall be placed in any public or private right-of-way without written permission. Back in 2023, notice of violation, so this goes back a year ago, I did issue a notice of violation to Mosquito Joe regarding the signs last year. After a little bit, he did stop putting them out. I informed him of the violation, gave him where they were allowed to be, and I didn't have any issues after that. This year, I did go out. These are some signs that I found throughout Oldham County. The picture on the left was near the Kroger. The picture on the right was coming off of 393, entering the Kroger entrance. As you can see, they're right by the roadway. The picture on the left right here was at Commerce Drive and Button Lane. Again, the sign is right up against the roadway in the right-of-way. The picture on the right was a sign that I found on Cedar Point Road of Fieldstone Drive. The picture on the left right here, I didn't have the exact location, but you can see the sign in the site triangle coming off of one road and onto Highway 22. And once again, the picture on the right was a sign that was placed in the site triangle. All these signs were in violation. I did issue citation number 756, as you have a copy of it. I did only fine him $150. Each sign that was in violation could have been cited as a separate offense, so it could have been $150 for the first one, $250 for the second one, and $400 for each additional sign. This is a copy of the citation that was sent and it was sent certified mail and signed for. I also hand-delivered the copy of the citation to their office. He did call up June the 3rd and paid the citation. As of today, I haven't had any new signs that have found that appear to be newly placed. So I recommend at this time that this case be closed, as I haven't found any signs in violation at this time, and the citation has been paid.
Okay, we have a recommendation on the floor to close.
So moved.
Okay, we have a second. And I'm sorry, who seconded? Did you? Okay. Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, the motion carries.
So the next citation is citation number 757, Chris Carey Construction of 6308, regarding 6308 Brentwood Drive. This was a violation of the construction site runoff ordinance. This citation has been paid, and they are currently in compliance, so this case has been closed. I don't think we need to vote on that since they paid it and they're in compliance. Is that correct? Correct. Citation number 758, also a violation of the construction site runoff ordinance. Ellis and Ellis Construction LLC. The property location was 7002 Stable Court. This citation was also paid, and it currently is in compliance according to Oldham County Engineer, so that one's been closed. Our next citation is citation 759, 5603 Windy Willow Drive. The owner on record is Slusher and Dealman Properties LLC of 5604 Irish Moss Court in Crestwood. This hearing was not requested. This is the general location of the property in question, Willow Creek subdivision, kind of on the Jefferson County, Oldham County line. This is the violation of the Oldham County nuisance ordinance. I apologize about the Rose Island Road, but this is the ordinance that they were in violation also. The duty of maintenance of private property and having lumber, junk, trash, and debris on the property. These are some pictures that I took April the 18th. The picture on the left, you can see junk, trash was being stored at the end of the driveway and at the rear of the home. And the picture on the left was the grass was starting to reach a height that it needed to be mowed at that time on April the 18th. I did issue a notice of violation on April the 23rd. I did mail a copy of it, and I delivered a copy to the owner of to the owner's property address. On May the 7th, I went back out to the property. On that day, you can see the junk, trash, and debris remained on the property. And the picture on the right, none of the grass had been mowed, and you can see it is starting to reach a height towards the top of the mailbox. I did issue citation number 759 on May the 8th of 24. The citation was posted at the 5603 property address on May the 9th, and it was sent by certified mail and signed for on May the 11th. As of today, the property on May the 28th, I visited the property, and the property had been cleaned up. The junk, trash, and debris had been removed, and the grass had been mowed. But as of today, the fine in the amount of $150 has not been paid.
Okay, there's no witnesses here. Okay.
Adam, has he ever contacted you?
I did talk to her. She did finally call me a little bit before she got it cleaned up on May the 28th. She contacted me and said that she would get someone out there to try to get it cleaned up as soon as she could. It's used as a rental property. She said she had a couple of them in the area that she was having issues with, and she would get her guys out there to clean it up. And I went out there on the 28th. I think she said she would have it cleaned up by around the 26th, 27th. I went out on the 28th, and it was cleaned up. But it did take a citation to get her to contact me.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that the citation was properly issued on May the 8th to the violator.
Okay, we have a, on the floor, made by, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed,
Aye.
nay? Okay,
Madam Chair, I'll make another motion that this was a violation of the Oldham County zoning ordinance. It was committed because there was an activity being conducted at a location, namely overgrown and trash collected.
okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Okay.
Madam Chair, I'll make a third motion that the violator be contacted to pay their $150 fine.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for the $150 fine to be paid. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay? Okay.
Okay, so our next case is citation number 760. Citation number 760 of 6320 Jefferson Street in Westport, Kentucky. The owner on record is Emerge Estate LLC of 6350 Harvey Drive in Cartersburg, Indiana. This hearing was not requested. This is the general location down in Westport, Kentucky. This was a violation of the Oldham County Nuisance Ordinance, duty of maintenance of private property. On April the 30th, I spoke with the owner on the phone. He informed me, I informed him of complaints on the tall grass. He had agreed to have it mowed by May the 6th of 24. On May the 7th, I called him. There was no answer. I did do an inspection, and the grass was waist high, as you can see from pictures that I took on May the 7th. Citation number 760 was issued on May the 8th. It was posted on the door. I did send it certified mail, but I have not received the signature card back yet. The owner had, when I made this presentation, he had called me with the intentions of paying the citation. He did call this morning and paid the citation for $150. And I was out there on June the 4th, and the grass had been cut. I would like to say that it is starting to reach a height to where it may need to be cut again. I have contacted him and told him that he has to maintain it. But at this time, the property is in compliance and the citation has been paid, so I recommend at this time that the case be closed.
Make a motion that we close case citation number 760.
I'll
Second.
second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Okay, the motion carries.
Citation, our next case is citation number 762 of 8325 West Highway 22 in Crestwood, Kentucky. The owner on record is Eugene Arthur Ashcraft of 8325 West Highway 22 in Crestwood, Kentucky. This hearing was not requested. This is the general location of the property. This is a violation of the Oldham County Nuisance Ordinance, duty of maintenance of private property. If you want to read on, no person owning, leasing, or occupying or having charge of any property shall maintain or keep any nuisance thereon, nor shall any such person keep or maintain such premises in a manner causing substantial diminution in the value of other properties. So these are some pictures that were taken back in December 18th of 23. The picture on the left, you can see the back of the house, a small building to the left, and a vehicle on the property. Picture on the right is a little bit closer up view of the property in question. We're talking about the condition of the house and the condition of the property at the time. Here's a few other pictures from the front of the property off of Highway 22. The picture on the left is me standing across the street on 22. The picture on the right is another picture of the property, just kind of getting a wider view of it. I did issue a courtesy letter on December the 21st to the property owner on record. In that courtesy letter, I did have him, I asked him to reach out to me before February the 1st to discuss the property and what needed to be done. I would like to say that the owner of the property, the more investigating I did, the owner of the property has passed away approximately 4 to 5 years ago. He passed away. I didn't know that at the time that I sent out the courtesy letter. In February, I sent a letter was sent to Amos Ashcraft in February. It was returned as undeliverable. Amos is listed as the administrator of Eugene Ashcraft's estate. You do have a copy of that letter that I sent out, and there's a copy right here on the left, and a copy on the right of where I mailed it to and the fact that it was returned. On March the 1st, I was driving through the area on inspections of other properties in the area. I did notice someone at the property, so I drove up there. Amos was at the property. I stopped and talked to him for a while. I explained to him the violations of the property and what needed to be done. We discussed different options with the property and his plans. We exchanged information. I gave him my business card, told him to keep in touch with me, and I got his information, phone number, and mailing address. We discussed the need for him to keep me informed on the progress of cleaning the property up. He was actually up there hauling some stuff out, doing some outside work, but I did tell him that something was going to have to be done with the structure on the property because of its condition. On May the 7th, I received a phone call, or sometime in early May, I received a phone call asking for an update on the property. I did drive out that way, and I took some pictures. These are some pictures that were taken on May the 7th. The picture on the left, you can see nothing had been done much to the condition of the property as far as the structure goes. Same way with the picture on the right that was taken. On May the 7th, I had not heard from Amos for several weeks. The property was overgrown and showed little progress. I spoke with a real estate agent that Amos had said he had been in touch with. He informed me that he had not had any communication with Amos for a couple weeks. I informed the agent that if he spoke with Amos, to have him contact me, that we needed to discuss improvements in getting the property in compliance. On May the 13th, as of May the 13th, I still had no communication with Amos, so I did issue a citation on May the 13th. Here's some more pictures that I took on May the 7th showing houses that are neighboring that property to give you an idea of what the other houses look like versus what his houses looks like. So the picture on the left is one of the neighboring houses, same way with the picture on the right. Here's two other houses that are close by. And you can see for the most part, the houses are kept up and they're in much better condition than the structure that we're talking about. I did issue citation number 716 on May the 13th for duty of maintenance of private property, basically for diminution of value from neighboring properties. Here's the pictures that I took on May the 13th. So I actually wrote the citation, and when I went out there, I delivered it, and I took some pictures while I was out there. At that point in time, someone had mowed the property in the back. You can still see the junk, trash, and debris. This is the structure that's at the rear of the house with stuff laying around, trash and debris. These are some pictures that I took from the rear. This is some pictures so you can get an idea of what the condition of the rear of the house looks like. And the picture on the right is looking up the side of the house. I did post the citation on the door, and I mailed a copy to Amos, but it was also returned. I mailed it to the address that he gave me the day that we had met, and it was returned as undeliverable. I went out there on May the 4th, and this is the condition of the property as of May the 4th. The owner of the this is kind of a case summary here. The owner, Eugene Ashcraft, passed away several years ago. The house and property is in need of cleanup and maintenance. It's really diminishing the value of neighboring properties. And Amos Ashcraft is listed as the administrator of Eugene Ashcraft's property. Since December 18th of 24, I have sent several letters that have been sent, and several conversations with Amos have been, we've had several conversations about the property. Some cleanup has taken place, but the property remains in violation. The vegetation is not being regularly maintained. There is junk and debris laying around, and the structures on the property are causing substantial diminution of value to the neighboring properties. There is a fine of $150 that has not been paid. So that's all I've got. I would like to say that they contacted, I did have an individual contact me a couple days ago. They said they were going to be here today because Amos said he was going to be here along with the individual that contacted me about possibly working out something, but obviously they're not here.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Who would like to start procedural matters?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that the citation was properly issued on May the 13th to the respondent who was the violator.
Okay, and I need a second.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that the property is in violation of the nuisance ordinance 89-800-846-2. The condition of the property is dangerous, detrimental, and adverse to the health and welfare, offensive to the residents, that this property has been in this condition for longer than 15 days, and that the violation was observed by the officer on December 18th, 2023, and May 7th, 2024.
Okay. We have a
Second.
motion. I'm sorry, who said second? Okay.
Second.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay.
Madam Chair, I have a question. I don't know if it's directed to you or to the county attorney. At this point, can we place a lien on the property?
Well, you can, I mean,
You don't place a lien on the property unless the fines have not been paid.
Okay.
So your next question is your mitigation. right? If you go through the procedural stuff, it's, you can, typically, the board would make a motion on how to mitigate the issues and conditions on the property and giving them a set period of time.
So I have a question on that. So the property, we have heard from the executor of the estate. Is that correct? I can't remember.
I think he's the administrator of the estate. I don't know if there's a difference, but
There is a procedural difference, yeah. So that means there's no will,
Oh, okay.
so.
Yeah. And the fine hasn't been paid. So it seems to me that there's no remediation for us because there's no one's asking for remediation.
Well, the remediation is to continue to clean up the property. You saw Adam presented evidence that they had cut the grass, but they haven't done anything with the buildings, and there's still junk and debris on the property that needs to be removed. So the remediation is a length of time to get the property cleaned up. That, I believe, would be the next action that you'd want to try to establish.
Well, I'll take a crack at this then. Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that the respondent be given 30 days to bring the property into compliance and/or have the property listed with a real estate agent. Can we do that?
The board cannot do that.
Okay. You'd be given 30 days to bring the property up to standards, and that the $150 fine be held in abeyance. If it hasn't been cleaned up in 30 days, that you'll pay the $150 fine.
Okay.
Could we have some discussion, or is this a proper time, Madam Chairman?
We have a motion on the floor, so we have to take it back.
Yeah, you
We
want
can
to,
discuss the motion. Somebody wants to second that motion, then you all can discuss the motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay.
so the citation is issued with a fine, and that fine, you can hold it in abeyance, but the bottom line is that if now you're going to issue an order that it be cleaned up within 30 days, and you would typically say, if not, that other fines be given on a daily basis.
Okay.
Not hold this fine in abeyance and don't pay it. You can choose to do that, but that's typically not what we do. There's a citation, there should be a fine, there's a fine associated with it, should be paid. You can hold it in abeyance if you want to, but after the 30 days, if there's not, we'll issue another citation. Typically, the board would say that we issue daily citations if there hasn't been progress. But at least a 30-day notice gets them going in some direction and gives Adam a little more.
Could we have like a fine escalation? Like it's $150
Well,
and the
it's-
next step
we-
and the next step and the next step.
We already have a fine, the second citation is $250, and the third and
Right.
all others are $400.
But within that time frame, the 30 days, if it's not done in 30 days, we have additional fine on this day, and then it escalates to this, and then escalates to this.
Each
and then-
edition, each time we issue another citation, it automatically escalates.
Right, so okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep, so you're on the right track,
Right.
and that's typical procedure.
Okay.
And I do think you all need to be aware, too. I mean, unlike a lot of situations where you're dealing with the actual property owner, Mr. Amos Ashcraft's liability, exposure, whatever you want to call it here, is limited by the fact that he is acting on behalf of the estate. So, you know, if you end up fining this guy 100 days at $400 a day, we have a big number there. Well, we go to collect that fine, and we have to foreclose, and this piece of property sells, and let's say it sells on the courthouse steps for there might be tax liens, other problems, and it sells, and we don't get our money. We're never going to get that out of Amos. I mean, we can't go try to get it out of him and make him personally liable, because his liability is limited to his role as the administrator. But I mean, if there's any, how much ground are we talking about? Maybe,
Not much. Maybe, I think it's 0.108 acres.
Yeah, so it's not a very big piece of property. It is a little bit of road frontage on Highway 22. I drive by it probably 3 times a week, and it's been an eyesore for a long time. So, but because it's road frontage on 22, it might sell for something. I mean,
Wouldn't you agree, though, the goal is not to fine Amos?
No, absolutely, it's to get it cleaned up.
Fixed up, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm reluctant to believe that's going to happen based upon the condition of the property, and I suspect that there may be some, Mr. Amos Ashcraft might say, you go talk to a lawyer and be told, well,
What other recourse?
you don't have any. I mean, this is your authority to try to force them to do it.
This board, there's another possibility that the fiscal court could start a dilapidated structure procedure, but that's not under the purview of the code board.
Well, but doesn't somebody have to look out for the people who live beside of this? I mean, in all fairness, they deserve something for their tax dollars. That they deserve for somebody to make this guy or whoever the people are that own the property do their share. I mean, I wouldn't want to live beside the guy and him doing that. I would feel like I was being cheated just as much as he may feel he's being cheated. That's my position, but anyway.
Okay, can we, because he's already talked to a real estate agent, put that in as part of, that he must talk to a real estate agent who then,
I think that probably exceeds the scope of what you all can do. You all can, your option here is to give him a period of time to fix the problem, and if he doesn't, start to have Adam go out and find him every single day.
okay,
And motivate him that way.
And if not paid, place a lien on the property.
okay,
Madam Chair, I'll withdraw my previous motion.
okay.
I'll make another motion that the respondent be given 30 days to make some significant progress, get the property up to standards in the code, that he be requested to pay the $150, and if he hasn't paid the $150 within 30 days, that daily fines will begin at that time.
I'd like to just clarify what you said. It's not if he doesn't pay the fine, it's if he doesn't clean up the property.
Clean up and,
You said if he doesn't pay the fine, that he'd be given additional fines. It's if he doesn't clean up the property.
I'm sorry, yes, yes. Thank you for the clarification.
And I second that motion.
okay. All right, we have a motion on the floor that the respondent has 30 days to clean up the property and bring it up to standards and pay the $150 fine. And if it is not cleaned up and fine, then the daily fines will begin. We have a motion on the floor. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay.
So next up on the agenda is old business. First up is 3505 Hawthorne Court. On February the 15th, a final order was issued to the property owner of 3505 Hawthorne Court. In that final order, he was ordered to pay $900, pay $1,050. The rest of it was in the amount of $1,400. Give me just a second, I'm pulling up the final order. So the board voted that he pay the fine in the amount of $1,050. He did come in and make a payment of $150. He had a balance of $900. I did file a lien on the property owner for that balance of $900. So that lien has been filed on that property. Next up is 7699 Catalpa Avenue. The final order on that one, this one went in front of the code board probably 6-7 months ago. Back in October, a final order was given. Y'all voted to have the truck and trailer removed, the shed repaired, no more dumping on the property within 30 days or a new citation. He did abide by all of that. Then you all voted to have him secure a dumpster and remove all the junk by May the 1st of 2024. I was out there on May the 28th, so I apologize, I was behind. This is a picture that was taken of the junk and debris that remains at the rear of the property, and there's a lot more than that. This was just a picture I could get from the property, the neighboring property. There's a bunch of it back there. I did go up and talk to him about it. I told him with the final, I didn't have the copy of the final order in front of me. I told him I thought he was supposed to have it done by May the 1st and have a dumpster secured. He said he was under the impression when he came to the code board hearings that he was to get in contact with me by May the 1st. So I am going to go back out there. My intentions are to issue another citation for being in violation of not only the final order, but in violation of the nuisance ordinance for the amount of junk and debris that's in the backyard. So you will be seeing this case soon. 5008 Harvest Drive, that final order, on May the 22nd, a final order was mailed out to the respondents. On May the 1st, you all voted that 1,400 of it be waived because the owner did clean up the property, but that they did have to pay $1,000. They did not make that payment, so a lien has been filed for the $1,000 balance owed on 5008 Harvest Drive. The corner of 1793 and Rose Island Road, I don't have the final order here because they actually paid the citation. I never issued the final order. I called them. They told them that you all voted for them to make the payment. They came in, they made the payment on that, and that case is closed. And that'll do it for the day. We will be having a meeting in July the 3rd.
Is there any other business to come before the board today? Okay, seeing none, we are closed. We are adjourned.